and this is my personal opinion. This is the weakest, most crappiest, fakest generation.
Shalom. Salakia. Shalom to the hopeful elect. Let's give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rucha Kodash, and double honor to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. All right. I saw this, and I watched about half of it, about 10 minutes of it, and I just think it'll be interesting. Lord willing, it'll be edifying to the hopeful elect. I'm just pull out some precepts. I'm gonna let this young man, speak his mind, through the Spirit. Let's get it.
I think the world has ever seen, bro. This generation, bro, is so weak and filled with entitled people, filled with disrespect, filled with, haters. I'm just to the point to where, man, like, I'm ready to go back to the early 2000s, man. Like, and I mean this shit with all seriousness, man. This got to be one of the most disappointing generations that the world have ever seen, bro, in my humble opinion. And especially...
I can't wait. Okay. So excited. I've been waiting.
That commercial be tripping me all the time. She damn near fell like 3 times. My bad. Let's get it though.
Being able to grow up in the late 90s and the early 2000s and seeing things for where it used to be and how it once was to seeing where it's at right now, this shit is hella corny, bro. Like, everybody fake. Ain't nobody, like, real loyal. Your friends really ain't your friends. They just trying to see what they can gain from you. Like, they really don't fuck with you like that. Family is at a disadvantage and always at odds. Can't never seem to come together and get along without nobody fighting or arguing. You can't really trust a person that you in a relationship with because they too busy scrolling on Instagram trying to see if the grass is greener on the other side, looking for somebody else to replace you with. You know that whole hypergamy shit. This generation is so full of shit to where I'm ready to just go back to the late 90s, early 2000s, bro, where all you had to be was a solid person, man. You feel me? You ain't have to worry about being rich. You ain't have to worry about being materialistic. You ain't have to worry about societal expectations. You ain't have to worry about most of the shit that we see that people got to worry about today just to be relevant.
Hey, this young man, like he said, he came up through the 90s and the 2000s, pretty much. Like being a 79 baby, an 80s baby, we had a lot better time back then as well. Things were like a really, things were really, they were real. They were more, connections, family-wise. There were, I think what it was is since the, let me turn this shit off, Salaki. We had to put that Daniel chapter 12 up, right? But what happened is technology, right? Technology, cell phones, before Instagram, before YouTube, you had MySpace, right? You had MySpace, you had other programs that separate the family. Like I remember it was a thing on MySpace called Black Planet. And Black Planet, a lot of our women, a lot of wives, so-called Negro women, will go on Black Planet, right? While their men was at work or hustling or doing what they do, they would go on Black Planet on MySpace and conduct adulterous conversations with other men. That's just the thing they were doing back then. And that was during what the 2000s, right? the 2000s, the early 2000s, 2004, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this thing has been going on for a long time. The deterioration, which it's a lot. It has a lot to do with Esau, Edom, corrupting the minds of Eve, like from the garden, right? Because they could have a man, a hardworking man, but based on what they see in the world, they're never satisfied, and they're always going to want something from the world. All right, and then they end up raising these young men without father figures in the household, that's surrounded by a bunch of women, to be effeminate. And a lot of it stems from this social media bullshit. A lot of it. So, like I said, I want to get this Daniel chapter 12. I believe it's in 4. Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. Verse 4. But thou, oh Daniel, matter of fact, you know what? Before I go there, I don't got it, so I'm going to have to go to the Apocrypha. Let's go here to 2nd Esdras first, and then we'll come here. 2nd Esdras. 2nd Esdras 14. All right, because he said this generation is weak. Right? That's what he said. And he's on point with it. That's why I had to pull this up. 2nd Esdras 14. Let's jump down to around 10. Well, I'll start at verse 10. Let's start at verse 10. For the world has lost its youth, and the time being to wax old. For the world is divided into 12 parts, and the 10th part of it are gone already, and half a 10th part. So that means we're drawing closer and closer to the end of this world before the establishment of the kingdom is brought on the earth. Right? Chance, how it go? Chance happened to all men. All nations, like the world before. What's that in 2nd Esdras? Chapter 1. How all the world, I don't want to jump back and forth, but the world, everyone has had a chance, right? This world was created for many, but the world to come, right? The world of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the world to come is for few, right? Daniel chapter 2, right? That the kingdom shall be taken, and no other shall. Let me get it. And pull out the book. Daniel chapter 2. While y'all stay focused on that, Ezekiel chapter 14. Second Ezra chapter 14. I'm gonna get Daniel chapter 2. I'm gonna go down to the dream, interpretation of the dream. It's like 40 something, right? Yeah, 44. Daniel chapter 2, verse 44. And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom, right? He gonna set up a kingdom, Yahweh Shai's kingdom, right? Which shall never be destroyed, Salaki, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. And that's a precept in Isaiah 45 and 17. The world of Israel, being established forever. All right, forever and ever. Okay, so you can look into that. You can look into Daniel chapter 2, verse 44, and then go to Isaiah 45 and 17. It's talking about the world of Israel being established forever, right? But these people have had, all these other nations, for the most part, has had a hand in this world, which is being destroyed right now. You know, we're in the last parts of this world being destroyed before, you know, the Lord brings a kingdom where dwelleth righteousness, a heaven and an earth where dwelleth righteousness, under his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. Okay, verse 13 again. Now therefore set thine house in order. You know, so set your house in order. This is speaking to the children of Israel. Get your shit together. And reprove thy people. Reprove your people. Whether they hear or forbear, let them know this is what's coming. Warn them of the Lord. Comfort such of them as be in trouble, and now renounce corruption. Now, if they're in trouble and they're you know, they're cleaving to the word of Yahweh Shai and they're going through things, you know, they're being tempted. When you come to serve the Lord, you know, prepare thyself for temptation. Comfort them. But if they're in the world, you have to renounce corruption. Hey, peace. The Lord is drawing his sword out. He's dividing shit. What side of the sword are you on? The left side or the right side? Verse 14. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee. And haste thee and to flee from these times, from these troubled times. Here's the point, verse 16. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done thereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much the more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. And that's the time that we're in. That's what this young man is describing right now. That's what he's breaking down right now. That's what he's seeing. He probably don't have a spiritual understanding, but that's what we're here for. Lord willing, we be those prophets, those men of Yahweh Shai, to give that understanding. With all thy getting, get understanding. All right? Let's keep going. I know I wanted to pull that Daniel chapter 12 too. Let me get that Daniel chapter 12 before we continue. Because the young man is breaking it down perfectly. Daniel chapter 12, right? Down to verse 4, right? Okay, here we go. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. And that's the time that we're in right now. The truth is coming out. The Lord is revealing his secrets to his servants, the prophets. The men of Israel, the 144,000 that's crying and sighing for the abominations that be done in this world. Lord, wouldn't we be a part of those men that receive that mark of exemption from our elders and apostles of the great millstone on down? All right, being sealed. Because we are in those evil times. We are in the end times. All right. And seal the book even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. The technology, right? Your Instagram. The Lord is giving people opportunities to do two things. With the internet, with this unicorn, you got the opportunity to do two things. Humble yourself, repent, return back to the Lord, seek the Lord's face. Seek Yahweh Shai 10 times more than when you were in the world. And like I said, repent. Come back to him with a sorrowful heart. Or, with this technology, you can use it to be full of pride. You can say, fuck being humble, fuck being contrite, fuck returning back to Yahweh Shai. Let me use this time to be prideful and boastful and do what I want to do. Seek out my sins. Accomplish my sins. Accomplish my pride. See how much money I can make off this society, off this technology, which the majority of people are going to do. Because the spirit of Yahweh Shai ain't dwelling with them. The Ruach HaKodesh is not working with them. It's not dwelling in them because they're malicious. Demonic vessels to be destroyed. All right? Seeking their own, to fill their own belly, their own pleasures. They're dead. They lack knowledge. They lack wisdom. They want to have fun. They're in the land, the time of mirth is what's more appealing to them. And that's going to cause their own demise. When you had a time to repent, you had a time to come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and be repentative, you know, and just beg him for mercy, you decide to do otherwise. You decide to fill your own belly. You decide to fulfill your lust and your desires for this world. Therefore, you have to die with this world. After death by pain, then will the elect, or will the rest of the elect, you know, will the rest of the children of Israel come into the kingdom. But this time, this period is only for the elect of Israel. Let me go back to this young man, see what he got to say, because it's not too much. I don't want to spend too much time.
Nobody want to hold themselves accountable when they do wrong. It's a narcissistic society. Nobody don't have manners. Don't know how to speak to nobody. This generation is one of the worst generations, in my humble opinion, that I think the world has ever seen. Can we bring back loyalty? Can we bring back honesty? Can we bring back character? Like, what happened to, you know, a person liking you just for you? Not what you got, not your potential, not how many followers you got, not what they could gain from you. What happened to a person just authentically liking you for who you is?
There's no order.
I see a world full of people that's users, bruh. I'm talking about users. Motherfuckers don't believe in God, have no connection or no reference for God at all.
Right.
Not respectful to the elders. The elders want to be like the youngsters.
No order, right? No order, right?
We in a total disadvantage when it comes when it comes to the standpoint of thinking how our ancestors once lived and was able to function without all the necessary shit that we deem is valuable to us. Society in the world in general has been devalued because of our mindsets and the things that we put over shit like messing with people for who they is and not what they got. You got gender wars going on. Men don't like women. Women don't like men.
No order.
Constantly on internet blaming women for society problems. Constantly on the internet blaming men for society problems. This generation is so fickle and weak. I'm ready to just go back to the early 2000s, bruh, when you could just be yourself, and that was enough. That was enough for a woman to like you. That was enough for a man to, you know, do whatever he had to do for a woman. That was enough. Just being yourself. You ain't have to worry about looking flashy. You ain't have to worry about going to the most expensive restaurants. You ain't have...
I think that's a age difference. Like, probably around that time, you were like the early, you know, a younger man, you know. But during 2000s, you know, a lot of us was going through the same thing that y'all going through right now, man. For real, a lot of our women was fucked up in the 2000s. You know, you had to have a certain characteristic. You had to be a certain way for a woman to respect you, to take heed to your words. You know, you had to have a certain, you know, stature. You had to pretty much, man, I'm just going off personal experience, man. Like 2000, from 2006, I'll say 2006 to 2009. You know, because I was married and I got divorced around that time because people just, you know, I said I wasn't going to do it, but my personal situation, no matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. No matter what I did, it wasn't good enough. And you're talking about a man that had 3 jobs. I had a restaurant job, I was working a club at night, and I was doing a little side job, you know, you know, and it just wasn't good enough. You know, we had a 3-bedroom apartment. We had a Jeep. You know, we had transportation, shit like that, but it just wasn't good enough. People want to be in the world. People want to be in the world. These women, they're attracted to the fucking world. All right? So it's just it's a different clash, you know, of times and everything like that. But it's the same thing. The same wickedness going on. Let me get this. Let me get this. Man, I want to get a little rest, but I ain't gonna get it. It is what it is. I ain't tripping. You know, it's a lot of iniquity and people being influenced with the social media. These women, it's considerate. Once upon a time, women had to go and grab a magazine and read to zone out and be in that bullshit. The Jet magazines, you know, all these, you know, that's what they used to do. They used to read magazines. These bitches so pitiful right nowadays. They don't even got to go and get a book and read a book or a magazine. They just look online or listen to a podcast or listen to, you know, whatever excites them. That's how fucking wicked the technology is done, you know. Going back to Daniel chapter 12, verse 4. But let's hit this Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, iniquity means sin upon sin. You know, adultery, defiling the temple, not respecting the order, the head of the house. You know, the fathers ain't shit to these women or to the kids. You know, the father is no longer around, so other men try to come in and fix up the pieces, but they don't get no respect. All right, their respect is at an all-time low, and it's not the children that totally disrespect them. It starts with the women not respecting the man, and then after that, the children follow suit after the woman. If the woman respected the man to do what he tell her to do, then the house probably be in a different, you know, status or state. But simply because a woman don't respect what the man say and keep things in order, the children are out of order. All right, again, Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And that's what we got to do, man, to the end. Just put off all this other bullshit, brother. Whoever you are, whatever you're going through, just endure to the end. And Lord willing, you find the truth.
Have to worry about, you know, status symbols and how many Instagram followers you got. You ain't have to worry about none of that shit. I'm ready to just go back to those times, bruh. I didn't understand how good we really had it. Now looking back in retrospect, I just, bro, we had it so good. Everything was simple and it was right. It was right. People was respectful. It's like, bruh, I think the world has lost something that it's going to take us generations to recover from, bro. Based on how people living and how people mindset see us. I really think that this generation of people got to die off. From the ages of 18 all the way on up to probably like 65. I think this generation of people got to die off, and the new generation of people got to set a different standard on what's real and what's authentic and what's acceptable, and set a different standard on respect, honesty, commitment, loyalty. Ain't nobody loyal no more. You don't even know.
And that's the beautiful thing about what he's saying, though. Because is that not what's about to happen? The majority of these generations about to die off. You know, and it's not just the age range that he gave, because Yahweh Shai understands the souls and the spirits of all men and women and children. And there's no way the Lord is going to have these anyone that's not cleaving. The thing is, a lot of the elect, are going to pop up after the majority of our people die. The elect are going to pop up after the majority of our people die on this side, you know. The majority of our people are going to have to perish. And then the elect is going to be, oh, hey, man, I seen what happened to that motherfucker, what he was doing. I seen what happened to her for what she was doing. And the only question mark is going to be like, what happened? Why the little ones? Time for me to get up. What happened to the little ones? I ain't even went to sleep though. What happened to the little ones? What happened to them? Then they're gonna understand the knowledge and wisdom of the Lord that, you know, every third or fourth generation, you know, we come back into the earth, you know, and we pay for our sins. And some of these children, you know, spare none. Ezekiel chapter 9, spare none. You know, little ones. Do I need to get it? Do I need to get it? Matter of fact, let's get it. Let's get it. Ezekiel chapter 9. This is all the Lord's doing, man. Ezekiel 9:4, and the Lord said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem. That means the children of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians, and Haitians. Go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for the abomination that be done in the midst thereof. All right, that's before the four winds, before the angels that's holding back the four winds. That's before they be let loose. You know, the Lord going to set a mark of exemption upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry, which literally goes back to the Lord, knowing the Lord's name, knowing the Lord's will, knowing the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah. Verse 5, and to the others he said in mine hearing, go after him through the city, and smite. Let not your eye spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly, old and young, both maids and little children, and women. But come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. All right. It says both maids and little children and women. So what does that mean? It's going to be a double portion of slaughter coming to these women, being slayed utterly. A double portion of you women, because there's more women than it is men. There's going to be 7 women trying to cleave or fighting over one man. A complete number. That don't mean it's just going to be 7 women. It's going to be a complete month. It could be 14, 15, and not all of them women are going to get a chance to have a man of the Lord. Y'all going to have to literally fight to take away your rebuke, to take away your rebuke, your disbelief, your disrespect, your dishonor, your shamelessness, right? And it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy for the majority of y'all women. But you're old and young. The Lord ain't sparing none. So he's on to something. You know, you got to respect it. A young man is on to something. I'm going to hear what he said again about that right quick.
Standard on respect, honesty, commitment, loyalty. Ain't nobody loyal no more. You don't even know if your friends really fuck with you like that. They too busy in competition trying to compete against you. They too busy sneak dissing and throwing salt on your name. We live in an era, bro, that's so weak, and it's filled with entitlement.
Right.
Please state your name.
Don't nobody want to do right by nobody. You got people out here looking to get over on you. People out here talking about the game is supposed to be sold and not to be told. When they got the information to change your life. in a blink of an eye, but they don't want to do it because they want all the resources and the money for themselves. Like they can take this shit with them after they die. People don't really want to see other people get ahead. And they might want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them. The moment you start doing better than them, they start talking about you like a dog. They become one of your biggest critics and your biggest haters. We living in a generation of people, bro, that's sick. Sick.
Come on, that's it. And how he pointed to his head, that was funny. It's mainly because they're not coming back to the word Yahweh Shem Yahushua. For whatever belief whatever they believe about it, they believe the word, the Bible is a white man's book, or they believe, how can I learn? What can I learn from a white man's book? And the Lord say this to you niggas, all right? Why should you be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. All right? The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. Y'all gonna revolt more and more. We tell y'all about the truth. Y'all revolt more and more. Y'all come up with every excuse, every example, whatever doesn't fit your agenda. Y'all not want to hear it. They don't want to submit to the Lord, to the word of the Heavenly Father. Oh, what can I learn from a book? Well, from the right book. I mean, everything you learn in your life, you learn from a book, right? If you was brought up in the military, they got a book on how to teach y'all how to do drills. They got a book on how to do certain the training efforts. There's a book on everything. But the book of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the book of the Lord, is the book that they reject the most, and that's the main book that they need to be taking heed to. With the right understanding. Right? Again, Isaiah 1:5, why should you be stricken anymore? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart is faint. From the sole of thy foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it. Right? Because they're not listening to the Yahweh Shem Yahushua. The Lord said from the beginning, if you hearken unto me, you'll receive these blessings. Deuteronomy 28. But if you don't hearken to me, you're going to receive these curses, which has made us sick. Sick. No mental, what do they call it? They got a thing about mental disease, right? They want to know, how you're doing mentally, right? The mental disease. Everyone has a mental disease right now. Unless the Lord has chosen you chosen to wake you up out of this bullshit. If the Lord hasn't given you his word, man, you're pretty much out of it. Your whole head is sick. All right? No sound is in it, but wounds and bruises and petrifying sores. That means there's no healing. The sores are always opening back up. There's no healing. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your city is desolate, your cities are burnt with fire, your land strangers devour it in your presence, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And we see this every day. It's the children of Israel over there in our homeland that's being preoccupied by bastards and all the other heathen nations that parted the land amongst themselves. Our land is being destroyed by fire, by, pestilence, wickedness, and strangers overthrow it. They're all on our homeland. The richest part of the whole earth, the most plentiful part of the whole earth, and they made it a desolation. That's why we know those were not the children of Israel over there. Because when the children of Israel return, it's going to be flourished with water. The water of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, which is this truth, this knowledge, this wisdom, and this understanding. And the whole world, all nations of the world, is going to flow unto it, seeking the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of our power, Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah. But until then, our people are destroyed. And there's nothing to heal them unless they return. And only 1/3 of our people is going to return. I got to get up out of here, y'all, so I don't want to, I don't know. I'll probably give this guy 5 more minutes to see what he got to say, but man, he's on point with a lot of things, just not according to knowledge. No, I'm straight with that.
Welcome to Elysium.
True Media, what's good with the family, man?
Where was he at?
People want handouts in this generation. People don't want to work for shit no more. People very backdoorish in this generation. Quick to backstab you, quick to backdoor you. This is the world we living in, bruh. And people make this shit normal like it's cute. They'll celebrate a motherfucking convicted felon before they celebrate, somebody that just graduated from college. They'll celebrate a convicted felon. Applaud this nigga, man. For killing people or for robbing people. But they won't even have the audacity to celebrate somebody after they graduate or after they do something that's great.
It's like, man, I can't. Hey, man, that's the beautiful, no. Hey, man, let's get it. Let's say, that's Isaiah. Chapter 5. Isaiah chapter 5. Let's jump down. Should probably start at 1. I'm gonna just jump down. I'm gonna make this quick. Like I said, I gotta go in a minute, man. Damn, boy, time be going by. Go to verse 20. Woe to them! Woe unto them! Woe means destruction. Woe unto them that call good evil and good. That call evil good and good evil. Right, like he's saying. Our people, Negroes, Latinos, Native American Indians, West Indians, and Haitians, and the rest of Speckled Bird, they uphold criminal activity, black culture, all the bullshit that go against the will of Yahweh Shem Shai. Anything that has to deal with being wicked, our people uplift. Adulterers, you hear in their fucking songs, fucking people, baby mamas, and they wives and all this shit. Y'all niggas gonna die. Y'all bitches gonna die. Period. What else we gotta say to y'all? Nothing more. Woe. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine, and men of strength to mingle strong wine, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. All right? Instead of teaching people how to do the things the right way, how to encourage people to do the right way, y'all encourage people to be wicked. Y'all encourage people to be wicked. Y'all supply, y'all take care of, y'all benefit those that's doing unruly, ungodly things, ungodly practices. The Lord said, in Ecclesiastes chapter 12, the Lord said, know to whom you do good for. Because our people love to do good for everybody. It don't matter. We just want you to do better. But you're supposed to know who you're doing good for, who you're doing good to. All right? The Lord said, I'm going to get it. Let me get that Ecclesiastes. Fuck this. Let me get the Ecclesiastes. Because of those that help those that are doing wicked, the Lord got something for your pussy ass. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. I know how to do it. Oh shit, I should have just did it right then and there. It's okay. We're going to pull it up like this. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. And go down here to verse 5. I'm going to start at verse 4. Give to the godly man and help not a sinner. Do well to him that is lowly, but give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee thereby. For else thou shalt receive twice as much evil for all the good thou shalt have done unto him. So all the good you do for a sinner, a wicked individual, somebody that's not considering the word of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, you gonna pay for that shit. You gonna pay for it. You gonna wallow in sorrows. You might think it's peaches and cream. You might think it's sweet, but in the end, your last end is gonna be devastation. And the Lord is not gonna come to rescue you, no matter how long you call on His name. Period. All right. That's all I wanted to get, man. I keep on going, cause brother's on point with it. The young man is on point with it.
Everybody want to be seen and noticed.
Yeah, that's that Timothy. That 2 Timothy chapter 3, starting verse 1 through 7, you know, people gonna be lovers of themselves. Lovers of themselves, boasters, proud, right? Heady, high-minded, right? They're gonna be you know, they're not gonna respect they're not gonna respect their elders. They're not gonna respect their mothers and their fathers, you know. That's the lifestyle we live in. That's the time we live in the end. The time of the end.
Man, I was just sitting back thinking about this shit driving just now, bro. Don't nobody really want to speak no more. Society is fucked up. And it ain't just black people. So I don't want to hear nothing about that. This is a race issue.
Right.
This is a general issue,
right.
A world issue. This shit is fucked up, especially in America. I can't really speak for other parts of the world, but especially the Western world, the Western civilization. We toxic. We love bullshit. We command people when they do wrong. We congratulate people when they do wrong. We applaud people when they do wrong. We support people when they do wrong. And to do right in this era, you get looked at as weak. Just because you love your lady, or just because a woman love a man a certain type of way. You get looked.
We're gonna start, man. I'm gonna stop right there, cause brother can keep on going. Probably this one precept, man. Brother, keep on going. Young man, keep on going. You know, I don't know. You know, I can't say he a brother if he ain't doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But I'm gonna leave it right there. Let's go to this Isaiah chapter 54. Bingo. Isaiah 54. And verse 5. Isaiah 54 and verse 15. Behold, they shall surely gather together. They shall surely gather together, but not by me. Whosoever shall gather together against thee shall fall for thy sake. Salakia. That's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted, Salakia. I gotta do it like this. Salakia. Isaiah 59 and verse 15. That's where I messed up at. All right. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. All right. And the Lord saw it, and it displeased him that there was no judgment. There's no righteous judgment in the world, in the land. Everybody's just, the majority of the people are wicked as fuck. And that's why you wonder why the Lord got to come back and do what he got to do. Why the Lord not going to come back like the Christians say and forgive everybody and have love for everybody and, you know, redeem everybody. No, the Lord coming back to destroy people because fucking rotten apples rotten grapes, rotten as individuals that's not going to be clean, rotten material that's not going to repent, and they got to just be destroyed. Again, Isaiah 59:15, yea, truth felleth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey. You know, you want to do right, you want to do what thus says Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. You want to treat your woman right, you want to treat your man right. But a lot of these people, they're influenced by the world. Therefore, they're not going to treat their man right. They're not going to treat their woman right. They're going to do what thus says the world. They're not going to do what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua said. Like I said earlier, I did a lesson. I think it probably posted. I'm going to do another lesson, though. You know, the Lord got me, you know, the Lord got me on the mission right now, you know, and I'd rather do this than anything else, man. He got me on a mission. Call Halayim La Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. The Lord willing to just be edifying, you know, to the elect. But, yeah, you make yourself a prey when you're doing what the Lord say. But the majority of our people don't have no judgment to do what's right, to have faith in the Lord, like they say. They worship Him with their lips, but their heart is far removed from Him. He's going to have the same sentiment. He's going to reciprocate the same energy toward them in the time of their calamity. Ha, ha, ha. With that, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect. Gain that wisdom, gain that fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, and keep that fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that's going to be the stability of our times that we're coming into. Surely enough, I hope this lesson is edifying to the elect. Endure, endure, endure. Yahweh Shah, endure. Till next time, you know, Salakia, let's give our praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Chakadash. And again, double honor to Elder and Apostle Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect of Israel. You Akim and you Akwaf. Endure. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, Kwam Yasharala. Wa Abba Baba.